I'm going to spend too much time digressing on this. This is about the third time I've tried to make this video because I end up going on a tangent or ranting because this woman drives me insane to no end. So here she is smiling away with all her feminist friends with her latest revelation to plague us all. Speaking to a businesswoman at the City Chamber in Edinburgh, she's announced the Scottish Government's gender pay gap action plan. Of course, we need to close the gap between the disparity of men and women on average, because somehow that's a clear indication that there is rampant inequality in society. Our progressive wonderland utopia isn't as progressive as she made it out to be. Imagine my shock. Of course, it's all men's fault. So this is where it gets strange, because remember how I've touched upon Anasol Sarwar, the Labour MP, who wants to combat all the racial inequality that supposedly exists in schools, and how they plan to do that is by, in turn, taking far left intersectional Marxist philosophy, which suggests that society is built on a patriarchy of white supremacy, and white people all have white privilege, and of course there's racial biases. They've redefined racism to the modern and woke term, which is something completely different to what it actually means, amongst a multitude of other things, which basically gives black people and everybody that isn't a white man justification to play the victim, and of course blames the white man or the white boy for every evil that exists in society. And it's all based on intersectionality, Marxism, etc. Well, this is no different. Absolutely no different. This is, I'm not sure if she wrote it herself or if somebody's written it on her behalf, but nonetheless, it's still here for all to see. First of all, you got the generic shit to remove long-standing barriers to women being able to fulfill their economic potential, because of course before Sturgeon came to power, women really wanted this to happen. They wanted this to be a reality one day. That's all they dreamed about. They went to bed dreaming of a day when they would be able to achieve their economic potential, and then Mama Sturgeon just swooped in to save the fucking day with her progressive wisdom. Her rainbow unicorn land powers transformed the gender of the woman into something that we could only dream of being. Fuck off, man. I mean, she's talking her arse. I mean, how highly, that's what I mean, she's a bottom bit for her. She's absolutely, like, well in tune with the feminist philosophy, because a lot of these feminists can't really understand that there's no requirement for them anymore. So anything that she thinks to herself she's doing, which is helping girls, it is helping girls, but they didn't need the help, is what I'm saying. Nonetheless, she goes on to talk here of, to promote inclusive growth and provide opportunities for all, we need to encourage a fair and inclusive job market. Inclusive, of course, being forced. And a fair job market was how it would have been before Sturgeon got into power. An inclusive job market would suggest that you want to force a specific demographic into a job market, and that's obviously going to have to come at a cost. So you force out another demographic. This turn, as always, it's the white man. So you want to force girls and women into the job market, and of course you want to force out, or at the very least ease the amount of boys and men in the job market. So it's you can slap the inclusive bullshit words on it all you want, but at the end of the day, it doesn't change from the fact that that's what you're doing. Inclusive makes it sound a lot better than it actually is. You're forcing women into the job market, and of course you are pressuring companies to take on the women, and basically it's quite hilarious, because then when they take on these women, thanks to being forced or via the quota systems and whatnot, they indirectly admit, whether or not it was actually the truth or not, that the reason that they never hired a woman beforehand was because they were sexist of some sort. So in your attempts to virtue signal and get a praise from Nicola Sturgeon for doing the right thing, you unintentionally prove it right, in a sense. Anyway, I've digressed again. It's this bit here. Gender pay gaps are symptomatic of structural gender inequalities. We've gone from having a First Minister who would do what's right for Scotland, etc., etc., to you fast forward a few years and she's in bed with Marxists and intersectional arseholes, and she's talking about economic She's talking about structural gender inequalities in the workplace. Oh, that's right. The imaginary systemic gender inequalities. Name them. Oh, please name them. The glass ceiling. Is that it? Sexism. Oh, fucking. I mean, you're really scraping the barrel here. So you're gonna pump money into the next organisation to tackle the supposed inequalities in society, and your excuse for the matter is that there's a structural gender inequality in the workplace. Education and wider society. Oh yes, education, because you want to, of course, every aspect of society that boys dominate, you want to know why they dominate it, and you want girls to go in there if it pays well. So of course you're going to have to go back to the drawing board, the gender neutral approach to teaching kids in school, and really what that means is empowering girls, forcing girls or trying to coerce girls to go into all the subjects that boys ordinarily would be so-called coerced into going into. And then, of course, you're left with the conundrum of staying at boys and not knowing what to do with them. Just go, just do what you're currently doing anyway, Sturgeon. Who gives a fuck about them, eh? But then, of course, there's this bit here. Using the word so out in the open there, as if this is a good thing. Anybody that takes pride, even the slightest remote pride, in using that theory, this bullshit fucking theory, this disingenuous, cancerous, divisive theory as an approach to achieving any form of equality or anything at all. You need to take a long, hard look at yourself. No, she doesn't, in fact. People do, and they need to take a long, hard look at her. I reiterate again, is she as sincere as she makes out to be, or is this in fact the work of a UN mouthpiece? Because What has she done since she got into power? Pander. Fucking pander for the most part. Progression. Immigration. Oh, we're wonderful. Inclusive. Compulsory LGBT education. Now she wants a feminist dominated education. And now she's going so far as to pander to people that aren't white. The little minority of black people that reside in the country. God knows how many there is now, considering she's been sneaking fuck knows how many in under a refugee clause. But of course, pandering and pandering and pandering. Equality is the number one agenda that seems to be on the front of Sturgeon's mind, and in one way she plans to achieve this so-called equality, this progressive inclusion, is to buy into the bullshit that is intersectionality. Lead to young people making decisions at all stages and levels of education. Support career and pay progression. Address the undervaluation of work predominantly undertaken by women. Address the increasingly precarious nature of work as it affects women. Women. Girls. Yep. That's all I ever see whenever she unveils anything to the public. Her feminist lackeys in another article regarding how wonderful Sturgeon is with her fight to make things equal. I'm immensely proud Scotland's one of the first countries in the world to have a gender balanced cabinet. Oh yeah, that's right, forced quota system. So no matter what way you cut it, somebody at some point had to have been discriminated against in order to meet the quota. Quite how that resonates in the brain of anybody that 50-50 means a bunch of people that deserve to be there. A bunch of people that got there because of all the hard work that they have done. That to me is not, that's the complete opposite of a representative cabinet. Because a representative cabinet would be a mix of people, whether it be disproportionately one way or the other in regards to sex. Not an equal amount. Because it just looks fake. Anyway, she started at the same time started a mentoring project for young women to help them achieve their goals while encouraging other women in influential positions to do the same. Now, how, if society was as bad as they make it out to be, then how could there be any women in any influential positions to do the same? Huh? We've also taken bold action to make it law that our public board should have 50% women representation, because that is progression. If anything is bordering on regression, these are important and real steps forward in achieving a fake version of equality. It's equality on paper, that's about it. It doesn't equate to anything in regards to a more positive society to live in. These days, more and more women and girls believe they can achieve whatever they set out to do, and that's because of the perilous, brave work that Sturgeon has done. I mean, what a joke. Sturgeon has been in power for what? 5 years almost. If that, going on 5 years. 10 years ago, girls believed they could achieve whatever they wanted to do, and many have done just that. As if Sturgeon comes on the scene and all girls' problems are solved. If anything, she seems to be